Welcome back to Soul Sessions. This is episode 3, Healing the Inner Child. You're here with Magnetize Your Vibe, a space where we come together to heal deeply, awaken fully, and expand into all that we're meant to be. Hello, my loves. I am so grateful that you're here with me again. In our last episode, we talked about spirituality and awakening, and how when we begin waking up, our whole world starts to shift. But often, what awakening really does is guide us back within. It shows us what still needs love, what still needs healing, and what parts of us have been waiting, sometimes for years, to be seen, heard, and held. And one of the most powerful places that awakening leads us is to our inner child. So what is inner child healing? It's basically a practice of reconnecting with the younger version of you, the part of you who still lives within your heart and still requires attention and nurturing. This is the version of you who experienced your earliest memories, your first fears, your first moments of sadness, loneliness, or pain. Because whether you grew up in a loving home or in a very difficult environment, we all carry wounds from our childhood. There are always moments when we felt unseen, unheard, misunderstood, or unloved in some way. And here's the thing. Those younger versions of us don't just disappear when we grow up. They stay with us. They show up in our triggers, in our fears, our insecurities, in the patterns and beliefs that we carry about ourselves. Sometimes we may wonder, why do I react this way? Why do I feel so unworthy? Why do I abandon my own needs? And so often, the answer is that a younger part of us is still holding on to pain that was never fully healed. Inner child healing gives us the opportunity to go back with love, compassion, and awareness and meet those younger parts of ourselves. And to sit with them, and to comfort them, to tell them everything that they needed to hear but didn't receive. We become the parent, the guide, and the safe space that we needed. And this work is so powerful because healing the inner child creates healing in your present moment. When you go back and hold that 5-year-old or that 10-year-old or that teenager version of you who felt so lost and misunderstood, you bring them home. You hold space for them. You give them what they needed, and you set yourself free. I want to share a story with you today, one that is very personal to me, that I've only shared with a very small group of people in my life because it's very personal. It's extremely vulnerable, raw, but it's real and it's powerful. And I know that there's someone out there who needs to hear it and who it will help. I struggled most of my life feeling like I didn't fit in anywhere, that I wasn't wanted. There was a constant theme of rejection throughout my life, and I always felt so alone. When I was a young teenager, I struggled deeply with anxiety, depression, and a deep sense of loneliness. I felt like I had nobody to turn to. I didn't belong. I began self-medicating, trying to numb the sadness and the pain that I was feeling inside. I was very lost, so disconnected, and extremely lonely. After a very difficult situation one day that completely broke me, I was in my bedroom crying hysterically, feeling like I didn't want to be here anymore. I kept saying to myself, I just want to go home. But I didn't even know what that meant at the time, but I knew it wasn't here in this physical incarnation that I was living. I truly believed that if I was gone, everybody's life would be better without me in it, and the world would go on just fine without me. And in that darkness, I made the decision that I was going to end my life. It was the lowest moment that I have ever experienced in my life. I had a few failed attempts, but just as I worked up the courage to completely go through with it, something happened. I was suddenly wrapped in this wave of love, peace, and calm. It was like I was being held. I felt unconditional love from something beyond this physical world. It was as if this energy completely enveloped me, soothing me and comforting me, reminding me that I mattered. It showed me how loved I was. I had this knowing come over me that this isn't my time to go, and that I have a mission that I need to accomplish, that I am so loved and protected beyond this world, and that my life matters more than I could even comprehend. I didn't know what this energy was at the time, but it saved me. It changed my mind, it soothed me, and I had this inner feeling of power come over me. It put the pieces of me back together that I thought were too broken to fix. And this story is important because years later, after my first awakening, as I began doing the deep inner child healing through meditation, I started going back to all the moments in my life as a child where I had felt scared, alone, lost, unloved, or unseen. I would sit with that younger version of me in every situation. I would hold her, love her, and tell her she is beautiful, special, and so worthy of love. And then in one of my meditations, I went back to that day where I almost didn't make it. And as I sat with that version of me in meditation, comforting her, giving her the love and safety that she needed, telling her how important and loved she was, that she was going to do big things one day, I realized something that took my breath away. That wave of love, that energy that saved me that day, it was me now. It was my future self, my healed self, my soul self. I was the one who saved me that day. I was the one who held me when no one else could. I was the one who whispered to my heart that I mattered. And as I continued my inner child healing journey, I wondered, was it me all along? Was I the one comforting that little girl throughout my childhood? Or were the whispers I heard telling me I was worthy really from my higher self? Were the moments I felt a sense of love and peace even when I was alone really coming from me, this version of me? And now I truly believe that they were. Because time isn't linear. Because energy transcends space and time. And because the love we send to our inner child ripples backwards. Just like the love from our higher self ripples forward. We were never really alone. We were always being guided, and we were always loved. Sometimes by angels, sometimes by our guides, sometimes by spirit, and sometimes by us, our future selves. This is the power of inner child healing. It reminds us that the love we needed has always lived within us. It reminds us that we can go back and become exactly who we needed. So if you're listening to this, I invite you to begin connecting with your inner child. Take a moment right now and close your eyes and picture them. See that little you in your mind, waiting to be loved, wanting to be held. And tell them everything that they needed to hear. Hold them, comfort them. Tell them that they are so worthy, so beautiful, so bright, and so loved. Because they are. Because you are. And because healing doesn't always come from the outside, it comes from within. I will will be posting an inner child healing meditation to complement this episode, so take a look for that. And next week, we will be diving into healing the divine feminine, my continuing journey with it, and how you can step into that divine feminine energy. So thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for holding space for my story. And thank you for walking this healing journey with me. If this episode spoke to your heart, I'd be so grateful if you take a moment to follow the podcast, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. Every time you do, it helps this work reach more beautiful souls who are ready to grow, heal, and rise. So until next time, my soul family, keep magnetizing your vibe.